Is this Eric or Attic? Ah, Mysaria.
When last we met, there were two of you.
You've been selling secrets to Otto Hightower.
As long as he had gold to pay for them.
She's not lying. Alright, this is Venus Brown. This is House of the Dragon Season 2. I am coming back for a second time. I did record most of this show previously. It was running on DirecTV at the hotel, and I didn't find out about it until about a half hour in. Now, I just found out they're re-airing this on HBO, so I'm just getting access. I'm at a hotel, so this will definitely be a little bit different. Hopefully that will still work. Now I'm going to go ahead and start from the actual very beginning of the show. I'm going to try to kind of layer it in so that sometimes it's going to present my reaction this time around, and sometimes it's going to show me the first time around so I can react from the beginning. This is House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 1, Son for a Son. Let's start the show.
Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay, so they're showing us a little recap.
Destroys everything she touches. Every man standing around the painted table urges her to plunge the realm into war.
The enemy has declared war. What are you going to do about it?
If she would have just had that dragon breathe fire when it came out of the floor.
Right, but she felt that was not something that she should do. Frankly, Kingslayers are considered...
Breeze are coming for you, Rhaenyra.
It's good that they show the little recap, though, to kind of clue you in, refresh you on what was happening before. And they have a new introduction, just like all embroidered on cloth, like a table runner. I'm like all of a sudden getting all emotional. I think the tapestry is like reminding me how freaking awful this whole thing is going to get. No matter what side you are on, like it's going to get really bad on both sides. There's so many horrible things that happen, but it's freaking war, and it just gets so bad. And like one of the main premises of the books was that this war is so bad that almost all the dragons die. And I'm pretty sure certain houses are gone forever. I'm pretty sure there were family names you hear in this series that you don't hear about in Game of Thrones because they're gone. They have died off. And I don't know if they died off in this war, but it may very well be.
All men of honor must pay its price.
Winterfell.
The North must stand ready. Winter is coming.
Coming? What is this then that falls from the skies and shivers my bones?
This is only a late summer snow, my prince. In winter it will cover all you see.
Pleases me to think that over a century ago our ancestors treated in this very place.
You, at least, had the mercy not to threaten me with your dragon.
The realm will soon tear itself apart. If men do not remember the oath sworn to King Viserys and to his rightful heir.
Starks do not forget their oaths, my prince.
So true.
My duty to the wall is even more dire than the one I owe to King's Landing.
Whilst your men guard against wildlings and weather.
This is more than weather, dude.
To hold the realm united, she needs an army. War is coming.
My father brought King Jaehaerys and Queen Alysanne to see the wall and watched as their dragons refused to cross it.
Probably good reason for that.
A 700-foot wall of ice. Keep out snow and savages.
What does it keep out?
Death.
So I'm assuming he has not gotten the talk from his mom yet. And hopefully she will give him the talk soon.
Urgent news from Dragonstone.
Oh, it's going to be his brother.
Alone patrol over 100 miles of open sea. Malus must gorge and rest, as must I.
We're going to King's Landing.
To what end?
Make it a son for a son.
Was this the Queen's command? Or perhaps more simply, to await her return?
She is exposed.
She is grieving.
The mother grieves as the Queen shirks her duties.
The Queen can grieve too.
Brought me news of Lena's death. I existed for weeks, in torment. A raven has told Rhaenyra that her son is dead.
She was a fool to go alone.
She's a fucking grieving mother that went alone because she needed to do what she needed to fucking do.
If you'd have acted when you had the chance, Aegon's line would be extinguished.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can't do anything about that. That's just the way it is. Sometimes people make different decisions than you want them to make.
Fly with me. It is a command.
Would that you were the king.
That you were the king. And you are not. Oh, that's who we saw in the trailer.
It's a marvel she was able to return from the Stepstones at all.
And we're not like to have the numbers to cover all that open water.
Well, you don't cover open water. Cover the main entries and stuff.
I had this commission for Prince Lucerys.
I was very sorry to hear about your heir's death. It was the blackest of treacheries. Pardon, my lord. Much to do.
They tell me that you're the one that dragged my body out of the sea.
It was only my duty.
I am indebted.
Yep, duty or not.
Dragon! Arm the scorpion! Scorpion ready!
Hold!
Stand down, it's Vhagar!
Stand down, it's Vhagar.
Where is Jaehaerys?
What do you need of him?
Taken into the small council.
What if he does not want to be king? You must not interrupt his custom.
And I do remember the fiasco with him at their meeting. Like really bringing a toddler into this thing.
The Queen is an enduring mystery, is she not?
Well.
We cannot. Again.
Right. We know what that's gonna be. Well, I do. Some people know, some people don't.
Brother is raising the strength of the West to master the Golden Tooth, but we...
Thank you, my prince. That's very helpful. Release it at once. Would someone please...
Is the heir to the throne bothering you, Thailand?
Maybe don't bring a child that young into your meeting.
Wouldn't that be fun, Jaehaerys? Should the Master of Coin be your royal steed?
Idiot.
There are important matters to discuss. Despite Sir Tyland's interruptions.
Very well.
I would say these are not Sir Tyland's interruptions. They're the dumbass king bringing his little teeny baby child into a meeting that's for grown-ups. I could see if it was a teenager, but not a little child that young. That's ridiculous.
The king summoned me.
You do not have a seat at this council.
If the king summoned him, then he should.
Rhaenyra has dragons as well.
Mine are bigger.
If we loose the dragons to war, there'll be no calling them back. We must proceed cautiously.
And burning everybody that doesn't agree with you is not going to get people on your side.
You've already demonstrated your might, Your Grace. We must now favor patience and restraint Houses will declare for you in time. History and precedent will come to your side.
God. Oy. This is your answer.
Council convened, but your handmaiden said that you were indisposed.
Yeah, you could call it that.
Have exposed all who betrayed our trust.
What of all of you who betrayed the former king's trust and your oaths?
And what of them?
They no longer breathe our air.
Your Grace?
Just leave me. Just leave me.
Let me wash myself. I would like some peace and quiet. Come on, is that too much to ask? It's crazy how young she looks and how many children she already has and grandchildren. She is scrubbing the shit out of that arm. I love that jacket. God. Just imagine getting trampled by one of those. Here's the dragon.
King Aegon.
The magnanimous.
He shrugs.
We already made a promise to all the crown lands that a tithing of livestock would be necessary.
Wonder what kind of mischief he's gonna get up to.
Right. Perhaps we could just return his sheep. He came all this way.
Sheep, Your Grace, you'll soon find them all at the foot of your throne expecting the same.
Which may be, but just like he has the ability to say no to this guy, he has the ability to say no to all the rest. Yes, they will be pissed off about it, but they'll be pissed off about this too. Why sometimes the people believe things to be true that aren't. That's why sometimes they have misunderstandings about certain things, because they don't all hear it.
That treasonous blockade won't last long. I plan to send Vhagar to burn it to ash.
Smiths are all proud to support your grace against Rhaenyra.
But iron costs have grown. A lone scorpion takes weeks. Could but have the crown's coin before.
You shall be paid, and paid well. Victory depends on the efforts of the small folk.
I wonder, do you have a moment for quiet? Controlled your father the same way. Viserys had a certain reputation as being pliable within their hairs. You would wish to be viewed differently.
How?
Otto Hightower was your father's hand.
And how would you define victory?
Rhaenyra bending the knee, and Aegon sitting the Iron Throne in peace.
Well, that's very highly unlikely.
An ally would not repeatedly cut my legs from beneath me at that table of men. I sit there. If you undermine my voice, both those boys will grow deaf to it.
The path to victory now is one of violence.
I know it. But that does not mean it must be wanton.
Search the hold for stowaways!
Search the hole for stowaways. Does that make sense? Is this Eric or Attic? Ah, Mysaria.
When last we met, there were two of you.
You've been selling secrets to Otto Hightower.
As long as he had gold to pay for them.
She's not lying.
You put Aegon on the throne.
That was the High Tower's
She was playing the game she needed to play for the position she was in and the hand she was dealt. You'd probably be no better, do no better. I think she is the one that was selling secrets to what's-her-face's dad. She was much prettier before, but she's probably fallen in stature and isn't able to refine herself like she was before. Those look like eyes of regret.
So what were we to do when they turn against one another?
He's not wrong.
Did you find what you needed?
I want Aemond Targaryen.
Come on. Like, I want Aemon Targaryen's head on a pike. I think the last thing they showed, they tried to set fire to the place that she was staying at, but she wasn't actually there.
It's been a while since...
Lord Kraken Stark has promised 2,000 men.
I'm told you bear a mislike for the High Towers.
Fuck the High Towers.
I'm betting I know what this is gonna lead to.
You told me you were a betting man. Fighting pits?
Dogs?
Yep, I think I know what this is. What lots of people have been talking about the books.
I'm better than the shape of my own cock.
Okay.
He has silver hair and one eye. Should be easy enough to find. But I understand he's quite good in a fight. You want to take caution.
Okay, so I get he has the rat catcher involved because he knows his way around and everything. And the other guy is one of the gold cloaks, I'm assuming. It just still seems really stupid to have these two facing up against Aemon. Because he is more than just tough. He is tough. He is vicious. He is also very skilled. I don't know. I feel like he should have gotten at least one more gold cloak in on it. Somebody really skilled. Might not have gone quite so horribly as it did. Or will go. I know it hasn't happened yet, but I already watched that part, so I know that's going to happen. And I knew it was going to happen anyway because I've read all the books. It's one of the freaking horrible parts of the story. The beginning of the war.
She plotted with my father's council to usurp his throne. Her grace speaks with two tongues.
And Rhaenyra is a cunning spider. Long ago she drew Alicent into her, intoxicated her.
I think Cole is projecting there a lot. Yeah, this is where I said he's projecting. She intoxicated him, and he got so enthralled, he can't freaking get over that she wasn't going to freaking sacrifice her freaking position in the realm for him. Really can't stand Otto Hightower.
It would concern me, grandson, if plans were being considered beyond the ears of your king and his hand.
What I wish would happen is what happened in one of the other books. The person that was king was too young, so they had to deal with the hand, and as soon as they reached the age of majority, they got rid of their hand. They're like, nope, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to my mom. I'm getting my own damn hand, and I'm going to do things the way that I want to do. I kind of wish that would happen, although Aegon is really immature. Really not a good person to be in the position of king. Not even as a puppet like he is. most of which are under your hands, controlled by you, the puppet master. Not the one person that's actually probably would be a much better king in the first place. Never understood what the reasoning was for bringing the dog. I'm gonna wait till this plays out before I say much of anything else about it. I feel like I missed a part, because they were supposed to ask Damon about what to do if they didn't find Aemon, which I'm pretty sure when I watched that, they didn't show us what he said. I do wish I knew what he said.
My brother at least knows his place. He's as loyal as a hound.
But yeah, I feel like even if they came across Aemon, it would be too much for these two idiots, and they wouldn't have been able to do anything with him.
Aegon the dragon cock.
Yes.
So they didn't see Aemon, so they're proceeding with whatever the heck else Damon said to do. And since this is called a son for a son, maybe they're still like, okay, not the right son, but it's the son of the king.
I got you in the castle. I thought the rest was your bit.
I just don't know my way around.
Okay, so he's basically got him in the castle. But isn't gonna lead him beyond that. And there's the rat.
The royals live on this. Told you, I'm not supposed to be up here.
Did you not hear the prince? No head. For the rats.
She's got some eyebrows on her.
She's the queen, she is.
Or does she look like a fucking son to you?
Well, look for a cock.
I have a necklace.
That's not a son. She's not going to give up the king's heir that easy.
She's telling true.
It is a little weird they didn't just check, but fucking horrible. I'm telling you, when they did the whole thing with the male or female, like which one is the boy, it really threw me off because I was like, it was supposed to be two boys. Now I know.
Helena!
You're not supposed to be having sex with your guard.
That guard hasn't been supposed to be having sex with any of the people he's had sex with. He has no fucking self-discipline or willpower.
What's happened?
They killed the boy.
Okay, so I knew that something like that was going to happen. I think in the book, though, that they're both boys, and they basically demanded that she choose one or the other. I think they decided to kill the opposite one of the one she chose. Something like that.
They just killed the one that she did choose.
In the book, as far as I remember, they were both boys, and they basically demanded that she choose one to kill, and then they ended up killing the opposite one of the one she chose. And I don't remember the exact reasoning, but there was some sort of reasoning behind both decisions, but it's going to lead to a lot of bad shit later on. I know that I saw headlines complaining about them making changes to the show from the book to appease people that they thought went over the line or something like that. And I thought that might be it. But I don't see how that really helps anything.
Well, they were supposed to be killing him.
Well, that's what it sounded like. But they also asked, what if we don't find him? And then he said something to them after. So we don't know what exactly his directions were after that. And I don't want to say too much because I know too much stuff from the books and it would be too easy to give stuff away. At the same time, I also forget a lot of what happened in the first series. So I really need to go back. Like, I don't remember the name of Damien's girl that he was with for a while, and I'm pretty sure that's who he has in jail right now. So, all right, so that was episode 1 of season 2. The premiere episode. And I've watched a couple reactions, so I know how some people have reacted to it. I saw headlines before I ever saw the episode that were complaining about some of the changes they did. I am pretty sure they were talking about changes to the blood and cheese scenario with the rat catcher and the gold cloak. I can't be 100% sure that that's what they were going on about because I only read the headline and I didn't read beyond that because I did not want to get big spoilers. But if that's what they were complaining about, they were making it sound like, oh, the show producers went too far in trying to appease people. Like, the entire scenario was going to be awful. It was going to be terrible, gruesome, everything, which it was. They just didn't show exactly what was happening, and they switched things up so that it was a little off. But it was still gruesome and awful and horrible. You don't have to see something in order to know just how awful it is. Maybe their issue was with them changing that it was a younger boy and an older boy that she was supposed to be choosing from to one of the male or female twins. Like, I don't know. Could it be something else? I don't know, because that was going to be the major scenario that everybody was really all up in arms about. And if they're trying to appease people by making it not so gruesome or something, I don't know that that's the way to do it. But it's not like they made it too rated PG for what it is. So I'm not sure, but like I said, I only read the headlines, so I don't know exactly what it was people were going on about. I just know there were complaints. I do think the episode was kind of slow. It took its time, which might not be what everybody likes in a premiere episode. But I would also call this an episode of grieving. Like, everyone is grieving, and even the people that are not on the side of the blacks, that were on the side of the greens, were in some ways grieving. Like, it is no small thing that what Aemon did killed a young child. It's no small thing. It's no small thing that what Aemon did killed one of their family. Whether they're against each other or not, they're family. But then the blood and cheese thing happens, at the very end, and it is really awful. It's really horrible. Especially that little of a child. And the vengeance that Rhaenyra wanted was against Aemon, not against those 2 little babies. Not against people that had nothing to do with what happened with her child. So Daemon, in his rush, ends up hiring people that are not capable of doing the job that he needed done. And that ends up twisting the vengeance that he wanted for his wife to something completely different, which is going to certainly veer the direction of this war in a completely different way than it would have. That's the way the books go. There's a lot of other shit that's going to happen to veer this war in certain directions. And if you have not read the books, the most I'm going to say right now is just that it is going to be very bad. And you don't know who's going to win. In my opinion, both sides lose big time. That's all I have for you this week. I'll see you next week. Bye. Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.